Everybody on the web as well. Today's discussion theme, we all know it, and thank you for coming here, and thank you very much for the candidates taking the time. They're doing a number of debates, one right after this, so they might not really have that much of an opportunity to meet and take some of your questions. But today's discussion theme, best in business class. So we want to know that small and medium businesses create the most jobs. That's evident. Governments the world over know this and recognize this and are putting forward efforts to stimulate their growth. So, what do the candidates have to say? And that's what we want to hear today from them about what they would do to make Toronto a place for entrepreneurship, small and medium business. The quick facts, and I know they're online, but Toronto has the highest small business growth rate at 7.5% between 2008 and 2009, and the national average is only 2.7%. We have over 240,000 self-employed people, and that's probably gone up since this Stats Canada, considering the economic climate and people losing their jobs and moving to self-employment. It's also, we have 17% of the, Toronto has the highest rate of self-employment in Canada in terms of that statistic. Toronto serves a constituency of about 300,000 micro-enterprises in Toronto. That includes self-employed and businesses with fewer than 10 employees. So why does it matter? I know the small business people know why it matters, and you're going to tell the candidates why it matters, because Mayor Miller won with 332,969 votes in 2006. My God, if you guys went out there and voted, you could definitely make a difference. And we're going to hear why now with the candidates. We've heard what candidates have said about public transit, environmental priorities, senior issues, real estate property, and so on. But now, what needs to be done to assist small businesses then? So, we're going to start off the format today, and you know it, you've seen it online, with a 1-minute high-level main points from the candidates, starting with Rob Ford. And I'd like you to welcome each candidate and be congenial as possible as well. Please, first candidate, Rob Ford.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've been a councillor representing Etobicoke North for 10 years. Also a business owner. My father started off Deco Labels and Tags in 1962, and my brothers Randy, Dougie, and myself have expanded into New Jersey, Chicago, and our plant in Rexdale, employing over 250 people. So I understand how hard it is to create a job, meet a payroll, and understand P&L statements. And I sympathize with the business owners in the city because advertising is crucial. And now they're tying your hands together, trying to charge you money to put up signs here, taxing billboard signs, and it's just like they think business owners have deep pockets. And unfortunately, as you know, many of us don't. So I'll be there to support you. Right along, I have the most business experience on stage, and I really look forward to your support on October 25th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rob Ford. And our next candidate, Joe Pantaloni, and again, 1 minute, you'll see the timer.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. First of all, it's nice to be here at the Queen West BIA area. As one of the creators of this BIA, it's a pleasure to see this area thriving. And I think this area is a perfect indication of what you need in order to be successful in Toronto generally, and in this area in particular. First of all, we need to help the creative industries, and that's why I've committed to increasing the funding for the arts and culture by $17.5 million over the next 4 years, by raising the per capita from $18 to $25. Also, I believe we need transit, because more transit everywhere, affordable, fiscally responsible, transit city, because people need to get around, whether they go to work, whether they go home, whether they go anywhere else. And also I believe that we have to invest in our people, frankly, our young people in priority neighborhoods, and because a city that works is a city that will invest for the future. And that's the kind of competence, expertise that you get from Joe Pantaloni as mayor.
Okay, thank you, Joe. And our next candidate, and we moved it around here, it's going to be Sarah Thompson.
Hello, I'm Sarah Thompson, and I'm the only entrepreneur here on stage. I've been in business for 24 years, different businesses, starting them from the ground up and growing them into successful companies. So I know what it's like, and I'm running for mayor because I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm sick of the nickel and diming that our city government does to us. I'm sick of the permits that we have to get if we want to have an event on our street. I'm sick of the extra garbage costs we have to have. So I'm running for mayor because I want to clean up City Hall. I want to go in there, streamline procedures. I want to get costs down so they don't keep raising our business taxes. And I want to open up the doors of our city and invite you, the people, back into the role of guiding our civic government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah Thompson. Next candidate is George. George.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you for being here, and those that are watching on the web, welcome as well. The city of Toronto used to be described as the engine of the Canadian economy, and I think that it's time that we created an even greater entrepreneurial spirit matched by a city hall that wants to help people to create jobs. As I travel around the city, I'm the son of a business person who lifted his family out of the roots of poverty. I had an opportunity for 9 years to run my own retail business at Church in Wellesley. I have some understanding of how challenging it is and how courageous it is actually to invest and put your capital and your life on the line to run a business. I think that a strategy to create more jobs in the city of Toronto depends upon lowering taxes and taking less bite out of people's pockets, and especially creating an environment at City Hall where you have a government that actually is trying to encourage people rather than stand in their way. We need an attitude adjustment at City Hall in the way that we serve customers, including small businesses, and I have the experience to bring that about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George. And now we have Rocco Rossi.
Good evening, and thank you. I'm here tonight with my wife, Ronnie, and we fell in love along the Danforth, eating, talking, walking, and shopping. Business is not simply about the economy, it's about the lifeblood of a city. It's about the dynamism of a city. And when you kill streets, when you kill retail streets, you also kill the lifeblood of the city. What do we need? We need a predictable and lower property tax regime. We need to stop the nickeling and diming. We need a one-stop shopping with respect to services, licenses. We need to lighten up as a city. This new bylaw south of Bloor now that's limiting people from putting a patio out back or size of places is just going crazy. It's returning us back to the image of Toronto in the 60s as opposed to a vibrant, modern metropolis that actually sees opportunities. If you want those kinds of opportunities, I understand that kind of feeling, and I'm there for you.
Thank you very much, Rocco. The format of today's show is that the first segment of this is going to start with 3 journalists who will each have 3 questions, and they'll rotate that to the candidates. Each question will start with a different candidate. We'll start with Rob Ford first, with Marcus Gee from the Globe and Mail, your first question, and we'll then go down.
Yes, I'm wondering, do you think, as a matter of sort of philosophy, that it's better to give a hand up to small business or simply to stay off the backs of small businesses?
The last thing that business people want is government intervention. They do not want government to throw all these bylaws in front of them. The less government, the better business will run. And you've got these sign tax, you put up a little billboard, the bylaws just come around, take your billboard away, penalize you, fine you. Less government is better business for everybody. Thank you.
Joe?
I think you have to do both, frankly. I mean, this year, the City of Toronto, when we set our tax rate, actually, we gave a 3% tax reduction. If you have a storefront which has got a market value of $1 million or less. Also, however, we got to be able to help out with things like the BIAs. We have facade improvements programs, for example, or capital sharing programs, which is small business. But the city matches what the people are able to provide. That's a hands up, as well. So I think you have to do both. You have to have a holistic, comprehensive approach to small business, and that's a smart way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Is this on? Okay. I think government has to, I would agree a little bit with Joe here. I think government has to enable small business, but step out of the way for small business. So enable them by creating the expensive subway that we need in Toronto. That enables people to get to work easily, that enables people to get around easily. But also we have to get out of the way and stop limiting the red tape. I think we need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of the requiring permits just to have an event on your street or just to have a bench in front of your store. You need a permit for that. It's ridiculous. So let's get rid of the bureaucracy in City Hall, the middle layer, and let's start listening to what our front lines are saying. And let's start getting our businesses, our owners, our people back into the role of guiding our civic government.
Thank you, George.
I think that most of the assistance that government, especially city government, can provide to small businesses is to be found in the way that the city delivers its services. So a customer service approach at City Hall is probably the biggest assist, this kind of notion of one-stop shopping that actually is helpful rather than what you experience now. Talked to a small business owner on the lakeshore in Etobicoke, wanted to get a permit for their A-frame, was told the only way that they could do that was to go to the Civic Center, the old East York Civic Center. That is not an example of government lending a hand and trying to encourage people to survive. If you think about it, most of the businesses that exist in the City of Toronto are not gaining direct benefit of services, helping to nurture them or support them from city government. Instead, more likely, they're feeling the reach of the hand of that government into their wallet, or more particularly through regulation, directing their business and maybe preventing their experience. So I think more than anything else, to the philosophical nature of your question, the latter, which is we need government to do its work well from a customer service standpoint, but stand out of the way and let the entrepreneurial spirit roll. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Rocco?
Government is there to provide the necessary infrastructure and then allow the business and entrepreneurial creativity to take over. But there are examples where the partnership works. And if you look at even the creation of BIAs, which is a Toronto invention, which is something that worldwide people look to us for, you see a partnership of business and government in terms of matching funds for initiatives. It's then when the city falls down on its obligations, as it has, for instance, along the Bloor Street revitalization, where they've totally mismanaged the project and now are trying to put the hook back onto the businesses on Bloor. That is not, it's not just getting out of the way, it's not giving a hand out, it's actually putting a foot to the neck of business and pushing down. That's what we need to remove.
Okay, thank you very much.